Hello, everybody. Welcome to Madness of the Land, our 16th episode. Wow, we're really going through them a lot. It's another fun one. Unfortunately, today we still don't have a Grits or Rufus. Grits is still in, Rachael's still in New Zealand on that trip that she finally got to go on after a long period of time. And poor Joe is still inlaid with his injuries from his car accident he unfortunately had next week. Nothing serious, which is good news, but unfortunately he just can't jump. So he'll rest up and hopefully he'll be feeling better for next week. Thumbs up to that one. But anyway, in the meantime, we can continue where we left off with these three because we had some amazing adventures with them. Why don't we kind of dive once again into the characters, and we'll review what was happening last week, and then we'll get into where we were. So, Tesh, how's Nokren doing?
Nokren has permanently assumed the defensive stance.
I mean, this is accurate.
Not a bad idea, to be fair.
Yeah, he's worried about what the hell these things are going to do once we get to them. So he's got his shield, he's got his pike. It was the exact name of it. It was a pike.
It was a pike.
It was a pike. Yeah. He's got his shield and his pike resting on the
pike,
shield.
Halberd, and I think spear are the
And we're kicking down doors.
Yes.
Kicking down lots of doors.
Orin, how about you?
Orin's been feeling pretty good. He hasn't had a headache in a few hours.
Is this an implication that Rufus would be the source of a headache for him?
Well, he's not sure if it's directly Rufus, Grits, or the two of them. But things are a lot more efficient right now.
How about
we're in a rush. We're smashing down doors trying to find people.
Seems more focused, more directed. He's been having a bit of a really, really centered period of time. He's just around people I think that he really feels comfortable with. He and Nokren have kind of gotten to know each other a little bit more, and they feel a little bit more open around each other. So he's more comfortable. He seems ready to go. So, which is weird because normally he's a space head who's like off in the clouds.
It does actually make sense because it is Orn, and then Nokren who's basically worshipping Tim at the moment. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, last week
only basically though.
Our team
Not quite.
ended up diving into the ruins of this massive castle that was before them. They've explored pretty much the entirety of the first floor and parts of the second floor and parts of the basement. Now they're entering into what appears to be the dungeon of this place. They've seen a dungeon registry. They've got a set of keys. Good times, good dungeon-based times for them to explore. So you're standing around in what is the guard room to the dungeon, which would allow you access to, well, the other areas of it.
Okay.
We should
You have a set of keys and a door
We
in
were
front
going
of you.
we were going to the dungeon last time.
Yep.
At the end, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Shall we continue that? That's right. We were going to open the door.
Mhm.
Requires a key. Well, actually, I'm just going to try and open it.
This one opens.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay.
Before you is a long hallway. About halfway down the hallway, there's another passage to the left. Lining the doors are large iron doors all along this hall. Each of them has a kind of metal grate towards the top where you can probably look in on someone. And down at the bottom seems to be like a little almost door. Perhaps you could open up to put food in.
Okay. So there's lots of cells. Shall we look in each one as we go? Just have a peek, see if there's anything in them. If there's anything in any of them, we'll try the key.
Okay. The first set of cells leading up to where the left turn seem completely empty. They all seem to have a bucket, a little tin cup, and what you think is the remains of maybe some kind of straw mat or something, or where it once was. You don't really see a lot of sign of any use of any of these, but it's kind of hard to tell with how long things have been, whether or not this place, how much it was used in its end of its days, and how much it was used in its heydays. So you can see when you get to the corner, where you can turn left, there are a number of more cells, and then it comes to another T intersection. So it's almost like a large H shape, you would think, that you're in.
Okay,
cool. So before you, it goes on for a while, and though it does dead end, though. So you're on, like, this side of the H.
Yeah. Shall we check that first, then?
Yeah.
So you're finishing
so we'll check that, finishing off that side of the H.
Okay. So on one of the very back cells, on the left side, you see something that is a little different. This cell has signs that something went horribly wrong in here. There are dark stains and cut marks that cover the walls.
Good.
And Rufus's body.
Oh,
No.
It's a joke.
Mostly.
oh, wow.
Probably not.
Are the stains old?
Dark red. Doesn't seem fresh at all. Hard to tell the exact age.
Nokren's going to take his pike and just sort of tap the door with the end of the pike.
Mm-hmm.
Like sort of dunk, 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 dunk.
There doesn't seem to be any response.
I'm gonna be standing back and ready to shoot something if anything comes out of there.
Okay.
And I'm gonna say,
I should probably re-roll my stealth overall for the new session.
I mean, if you're trying to be stealthy right now, go ahead.
The cat swung at the mic on my face.
A little door for the food. Does it open inward or outward?
or does it slide?
It opens towards you, so you can slide something in and put it back down.
Okay, so it's a little hard to sort of lift up with the pike.
Yes.
Nice.
You like what my idea is then? I'm going to attempt to try and lift it up carefully and sort of whisk the cell with my pike for a bit.
So just like kind of shoving it in there. You feel as though
In the
it's
corners.
like, yeah, you're like knocking into some stuff, but it's just like probably like stuff around the ground and all that, and doesn't seem to be hitting any large objects. Nothing that your pike doesn't knock out of the way.
Okay. Pull the pike back. Is it covered in anything?
No.
Do we open?
Yep. And
Okay,
I'm ready to
I'm gonna-
cast a spell at anything that would rush out.
Alright.
I'm going to use the key.
Okay, you use the key, you open the door, and you see that the room is indeed abandoned. Except that you now notice all the things you were kind of knocking around with your pike. You begin to take a look, and they look like little stones. And on closer inspection, they're chunks of bone and pieces of fabric all over the bottom of this here. As if something was just completely cut to pieces.
Wow, Nokren, I'm surprised that you did that with your pike.
I don't think that was me.
I know it wasn't you, I'm joking. I'm gonna pat him on the shoulder and walk up and look at him.
Nokren won't really notice. Nokren's now scanning for what could have done this, like a hole or entryway or anything. Is there any sort of hole to the cell or entry to the cell or anything? Okay. And nothing else in the cell of interest?
No. This cell just seems to be a place that something very, very bad went down.
Do the bones appear human?
It's really hard to tell.
I don't think we can tell.
Yeah, I'm just asking, like,
Yeah.
sizing-wise, like, do they look like
like, you know, maybe like small pieces like this on your hand. So,
Okay.
There are a lot of them. Probably enough to make, like, most of a humanoid, but impossible.
a humanoid, but
How
small
does the-
humanoid? halfling humanoid, perhaps.
If this was all the bones, it would be probably a little larger than a halfling, but you're not sure if this is all the bones.
Okay.
Because it's so shattered apart.
The door was iron, right?
Yes.
How does the inside of the door look?
Has similar stains and scratches as the.
How deep are the scratches? Like, as what I'm trying to gauge is how well do the scratches go into the metal? Because that's
pretty shallow, I'd say. Not nearly as deep as you'd think.
Given the ripped apart individual in front of us.
Yeah. It looks as though perhaps maybe the ripping apart was less based on strength and more based on.
That's what I was.
Effort.
Cool. Okay. So something had a long time with this thing, and just sort of went at it. Shall we close this door and lock it? I say if we do close it, we definitely lock it.
I mean, is there a need to lock it?
Is there a need?
I would like to lock it, just in case.
All right, if it'll make you feel better.
I'm gonna close the door and I'm gonna lock it.
Okay.
There's no harm to locking it, and locking it might happen to hold something at bay that happens to appear later. Who knows whatever did this? If it knows its way into this cell, it might be able to get elsewhere, but it also might not. Shall we check the rest of the cell block?
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
Heading into the middle of the H, you will first come across a couple of empty rooms, and then to the left, so towards like the direction it would be on the side of the H towards you, you see what appears to be maybe a body in one of these cells.
Okay. So we see a body in one of these cells. What state does the body look?
It's hard to tell. Kind of wrapped up, lying down on where the straw mat would be.
Okay, so that's too far in to sort of poke with my pike, isn't it?
Yes, it's like towards the back of the room.
Yeah.
The rooms aren't that big, but it would sort of like your pike would like barely be hitting it from the position where you could actually get some leverage on it. You could probably poke it more, but it doesn't...
Tickle its toes.
Yeah, you could probably like tickle it more if you have it like your pike really in there at the very end of it, but
I don't want to risk it like knocking the pike out of my hand if it's a thing. I have an idea though. Is the little latch for the door, is it big enough that I can put a hunter's trap right on underneath, like through it, just through it?
I mean, sure.
Okay, I'm gonna slide a hunter's trap right to the other side, just on the other side of the door, and then I'm gonna bang the door.
Okay.
And I'm also going to be prepared to cast a spell again, should something run.
Ready to stab.
Okay. No, you don't hear anything. Nothing seems to move. It's just sitting there.
Shall I unlock?
Yep.
Okay, I unlock the door and I open it. I don't step in yet.
Okay.
But I open the door.
All right.
Nothing happens? No change?
No, it's just something me not moving.
Okay, I'm gonna slide the hunter's trap a little bit forwards. I'm gonna step in a little bit. Nothing?
Nope.
And now I'm gonna poke it with my pike, because hopefully I should be in range at the point.
Yeah. It doesn't move.
So Orn kind of walks up and, without setting off the trap with the center pressure plate, like lifts up the trap, turns it over, and drops it on the body's face.
Okay. It goes off, crushing into the body. You can see that the body seems to kind of crunch in the blanket that's kind of being damaged.
I think we're good.
Release the trap. Clean it.
You get a good sight of the body now, even though it's horribly damaged now. You notice something incredibly weird about it, which I'm going to say Tim will definitely pick up on. This thing's mummified.
Okay.
This is not an environment something should mummify in.
Oh, of course. Oh. Oh.
And I will mention that this is...
It looks like a desiccated corpse.
Yeah. This is mummified.
What worries me is the fact that it was on its bed. Calm. Compared to the other one, which was at the door.
Nah, everyone has their own way of dying.
True, but it's what? That's a good point.
It's
Continue cleaning my trap.
Yeah, it's something that is interesting, nonetheless. A key, perhaps, to some future information, but nothing we can really do with now. I want to have a look around the room, though, if you don't mind.
All right, go ahead.
I'm gonna... It's going.
Uh-huh.
It's going.
It'll happen.
No.
Okay.
And it went poorly.
Other than the body itself and the fact that it actually had like some kind of blanket over it, though the blanket itself is quite deteriorated and kind of fell apart when it got hit with the hunter's trap.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. But other than that, the room seems like any of the other standard cells that you've seen so far.
Cool. Well, nothing of interest. Let's go.
Sorry about your trap. I was just proving the point.
Yeah.
Oh, it's fine. That actually did. Better safe than sorry is how I put it, sir.
So you reach the intersection of the other side of the H where you can go right.
I lock the door as we leave.
Okay. The right has a number of cells and it comes to an end. The left has, again, a number of cells, but it ends in a door. That seems to mimic the guard room that you came in.
No door
not
first?
iron?
What?
Not iron? Like
It's
a regular door?
It's more of like the wooden door that you came into this hallway from.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Shall we check the side that doesn't have a door first?
Sure. Closest door.
Okay. There's a number of closed up doors, but one of the doors in this area is different than the others. The cell door is open.
That one first.
Yep.
Saves us opening it. And we don't want to be ambushed by something that might already be in there.
Yep. Got shield out. Going.
And I'm standing back and I'm prepared to cast a spell.
Okay.
Surprise.
Looking into the room, as I said, the cell door is wide open. All signs of the prisoner have been in here seem gone, whoever might have been in here at any time. On the floor of the back of the room is a large iron grate. Just kind of on the actual floor, seemingly over something.
Oh. Okay. Shall we lift? Shall I lift?
Shall we?
Shall we lift? Shall I lift?
Hand you a crowbar. How about you pry? If you
I can use my
direct...
pike.
True.
Magical weapon.
I'm just making sure that you don't reach down and get grabbed.
That's true. You know, can I try and at a distance leverage it up with my pike?
You could try. I give you disadvantage to do that. The pike is not necessarily because the shape of the pike, it's not really
that's
great
me deciding.
for a grate, you know.
It makes sense, yeah.
I'm prepared to cast a spell. You may as well just lift it.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna go over. I'm actually gonna hook like the end of the crowbar on the bit ready to lift up.
Okay.
So stand to the other
when you
side.
look at
I'm
the
gonna
grate,
step past.
You can notice
Go on,
something interesting about the grate itself.
Oh.
This is obviously not part of the original design of this room. It looks as if it's been hastily hammered into the ground. Actually.
Oh, actually, in that case,
you can see beneath it a smooth hole, circular hole, just going down.
When I'm moving over to do the crowbar into it, I see that and go, on second thought, there's a hole that goes real far down here.
It's about 3 foot diameter, and it is smooth, like actually smooth.
So not like the other tunnels we saw.
No.
Okay.
You cannot see any kind of bottom. It goes deep. Okay, your range is 120. It will go down to 120, and it will keep going down below that. So you have the light at the bottom where it's reached the edge of your range, and
it still goes.
And however far down that light spreads from where the center
about 10 feet.
Can you?
So
is it possible to minor illusion that the thing isn't there? Does anyone have minor illusion here?
Yes, I do.
Is it possible to minor illusion that the grate isn't there? And see what happens?
In theory, yes, because I could create an image of the top of the room above the hole and place that below the grate, technically.
Tim, Nokren, both of you give me insight checks, actually.
Ooh, okay. Ooh, not good.
Okay.
Let's see.
Yay!
Nokren!
Okay, Nokren.
Yeah?
So, you kind of take a look at this, and you get a feeling. First off, the feeling that you get is that there's whatever is down there, whatever it leads to, is something you don't want to mess with right now.
Okay, that's the...
There's this as you stare at the darkness that you can kind of see down there, there's almost like an ominous feeling emanating from that. You kind of take a look around the room, and you can instill that maybe what you've seen that burrows up isn't the only thing deep underground. Maybe there are things deeper than them that occasionally come up. Even rarer.
Okay. I'm going to relay all that information.
Just a gut feeling? I mean, my gut says
a little bit more than a gut feeling. Maybe I grab my
hammer and rope, like.
I get out my symbol and I say more than a gut feeling.
Well, I will say my gut's not telling me anything right now. Not necessarily that it's, an indication, but perhaps your higher power is giving you some more indication than mine.
You still get that there's ominousness about it, but it's sort of just like
Tim wouldn't say that though.
Yeah.
Tim would be like, no, this seems fine, because he doesn't want to admit that the feeling is there.
Yeah. Is there a door to this cell that was just open?
That's just left open, yes.
Okay. I vote we lock that as well on the way out.
We're following your lead on that, Nokren.
The door does not lock. The door seems slightly damaged that you wouldn't see until you try to close it.
What is it for?
That is bad.
Cantus. What is the floor made out of?
Stone. The door is iron, but all the rest of the cell is just stone.
And it's a solid, smooth hole.
Alright, I hand Nokren my hammer, close the door as far as we can, and put a piton and hold it. There you go. We're gonna jam it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're putting a door stopper in, is essentially what we're doing.
Yeah. I used one of my pitons, Tantus, to pretty much
jam the door, so whatever came out,
it can't open.
It would at least take it a little longer.
At least, yeah.
Right.
It'll have to bend something.
Yes, and it will be noisy then.
Oh,
yeah. It'll be noisy if it came up through the grates at this point in time, but I mean,
more noisy. The noisier the better, really.
If the grate went, it would make a plong, tung, tung, and we'd be like, okay, what was that? And then we'd hear thunk, 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 and then crash, and we'd be like, oh no.
It gives us more time.
Yeah, it gives us more time.
Yeah. More.
And we know it's coming, is the other thing. Rather than just we heard a sound. We know, it's that sound, run.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
In this area, there is one other cell, though, other than one that was open, that stands out. One of the cells has dark stains covering the floor.
Blood?
Probably.
This one, though the door is closed, you
Could
notice
be
that the
wine.
door isn't quite closed. It's almost all the way closed. Just slightly ajar.
I still have my dancing lights going because I pulled them out of the hole.
Yeah.
Because when Nokren gave me the idea that the feeling was not good, I pulled the dancing lights out of the hole rather than, attracting, giving them a nice pathway up to the to the surface.
Yep.
I brought them all up with me, and I'm gonna send those in to the room.
Okay.
Into
I
the
am
little
assuming
crack of the
defensive
door.
stance.
Please do assume the defensive stance.
Okay.
Nice.
That's all I got, man.
You kind
And
of...
I'm standing back as well.
Okay.
I'm doing this from as far back as I can, where Nokren's in front of me, and
You
know.
notice you can't really get a good sight of it through like the little grating, but you can see that there's something strange on the walls, like etches, and you can see the like stain on the center of the floor. But the stain's a little different than the stain you saw before. It's as if like it was more controlled when it was spilled.
I'm gonna pull the dancing lights out, and I'm gonna say, "No time like the present," and I'm gonna prepare to attack with my spells. Anything that would jump at us.
I am going to. The doors open outward, right?
The doors, I think I had them open inward, the actual iron doors.
In that
Like
case,
the little
I will
tiny
keep...
doors open outward, you know, just because you
Yeah.
through
That makes
them,
sense.
you know. But
I'm
the
gonna
doors
kick.
themselves push into them. Yeah.
I will point out that is a poor prison design because prisoners
That's
can
why I
then
was
hide
asking.
behind the door. But
True.
who knows what kind of prison
If
they
these
run
things
here.
valued fighting and thought they were better than everything, they may not have cared.
They wouldn't have cared. Is my
Also,
point. But,
if
just
you
in
actually
real life.
look, there isn't a lot of room, and if they push the door open all the way, it would probably just crush anybody behind it. Or you would hit them. Like they're...
Yeah, you'd hit them, and then they could throw it back at you. It becomes a weapon in between. Is my point. Like it creates a variable that you wouldn't want to introduce in a prison. I do know what you mean though, and like they probably wouldn't give a shit because of these people. Exactly, in a human prison,
Yeah.
you wouldn't have the door swing inward.
Yeah. But these people have definitely a little bit more, you know, if they can't put up with the prisoners, what are they doing down here guarding them? Also,
That's a good point.
Also, you're pretty sure they weren't treated very well, just from the like the looks of this.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Yeah, no.
Probably not. No. So I'm going to kick the door in.
Okay.
Is that?
So as I said, there's a dark stain almost in a circle in the center of the room. The walls are covered in strange symbols and runes, and along with sets of writing in various places, in a language that you do not understand but you have seen before within this place.
Just gonna sit down for a minute.
Yep. I'm actually gonna try because I know what he's gonna do.
For 10
while
minutes.
he's doing that, I'm not going to walk in. I'm not going to do it, but I'm going to look at a distance and look at the controlled stain. Does it look like a rune or like a ritual?
Give me either Arcana or Religion check. Both would work, I would say.
I think I'm better at religion, am I? Where am I? I'm plus 0 to both. I'll do religion because that makes more sense.
Okay.
Vampire has infected my brain. I thought you were gonna say intelligence.
All right.
I didn't move. I was just looking.
It's a nice stain.
I know. Oh, it's a nice stain. Yep. So I'm just turtle up.
So once my ritual casting is done,
I'm glad I
look
said
at
that I
writing.
didn't move. Like I specifically said I didn't move before.
You could have slipped and fell into it and like ruined the stain, and we would never would have
What is the roll for it?
I said either Religion or Arcana you could do.
You have more Arcana than I have religion, probably.
Me? Oh, probably.
So,
yeah,
plus 5.
Yeah.
I think once he
have
gets comprehend
3
language,
religion.
Yeah,
probably
plus
good.
5. Once I'm done, I'll take a look at the stain and I'll do a quick look.
I'm gonna help him if I can.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what?
It doesn't matter. It's
probably don't do
fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're Tim.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the writing will say, and there seems to be an order to the writing. It says, "As I stand, I know his eyes can see me. He commands me. He speaks to me. His gifts will serve me well. The sacrifice will begin." And all of that does seem to be written in blood.
Yeah, do you mind putting that into the, I'm gonna copy it. It's going in my notes.
If you said all that out loud, Nokren's going to say something here.
I would have said it out loud.
Yeah, so... What?
And then I did the Arcana check as well.
You will notice this is some kind of like ritual was done in here, and the runes do seem to be magical runes, but you can tell that they have more divine incantations than arcane.
Okay.
Now,
You pick up
I
that
wanna
there
know
are
what you-
necromantic connotations to them, though.
Okay, so Nokren's theory that he's talking about is this place was from our world, much like a lot of these things and from other worlds grabbed. What if you could summon what happened to us by doing something like this? What if this is how that happens? Because we found a ritual site in the didn't we find a ritual, all the evidence of a ritual in the Tabaxi like place as well?
You did find evidence of
Yeah.
weird rituals and stuff.
What
Maybe unrelated. Could
what
be.
if behind that giant door below the castle is a ritual site that brought us here?
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. That there's either that or someone in the town is hiding a ritual site where they did it. Because I'm starting to think it's not a case of we are just brought somewhere, and the timing of it was kind of perfect. Maybe this was someone's attempt to save us. Maybe it was something darker.
If there's a ritual to take you somewhere, there's often one to take you back.
That's what I'm thinking.
This
Just a theory.
ritual is necromantic in nature. Has religious connotations. The rune work is far more religious than it is arcane. I mean, it makes sense
So-
that if that thing that we saw, that eye that we saw.
You said necromantic connotations, right?
Yes. Yes. Blood sacrifice.
My god used to serve this god. My god also has necromantic connotations.
Go on.
In that, when the first time I encountered him, when he helped me get vengeance on people that I wouldn't have otherwise been able to, after he was done helping, he raised them all again.
I see we're finally seeing your darker side.
Knew it was there. It was just a matter of how long until you told us. Well,
the
then in that
people
case,
that did that,
Hmm.
the people that he helped me kill and then raise, slaughtered my family. So I wasn't too fussed.
you remember that beast that we killed down in the prison? One of the savage ones.
Yes.
How upset would you have been if we raised him from the dead?
Probably not too much, depending on the situation. Depending on how it went as well.
That is always a concern. I had an idea. It's a long shot, but maybe you can help. Given that the war is with their people, it might throw them off to have an undead thrall of their brethren fighting for us.
That's true. If we did do that, that would definitely mean there was no chance for peace, but at this stage I don't think there is.
Well, we don't speak their language. I'm working on that, I think, but it's hard to tell.
I think it'd be a very good last sort of...
Last resort. It
last
wouldn't be
resort.
my first choice, absolutely, but that's part of the
It'd be a
reason why
very
I
good
saved the
invitation.
creature's body.
That makes sense.
Just
We
in
also
case.
might be able to... I know I've heard of spells that can allow you to get information from them.
Yes.
That
But I need
might
to be able to
useful
speak
as
the
well.
language first.
Would you be able to do your comprehend? Oh, no, you need to speak.
I need
Yeah.
to be able to speak the language because I have to be able to ask it.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay. I have a correction to make, though. Sorry, guys. Because
yep.
I missed something from one of the rooms. They do open into the hall. They are supposed to.
Okay, well then I would.
I am glad to hear that.
Yes.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Good.
Sorry.
That's fine.
I didn't think I actually mentioned which one it was, so I just kind of improvised. But now I see something that specifically mentions, like, opens into the hall.
Good. Okay. Cool.
Yes.
So I need to be able to understand their language first, which means that I need sources to their language so that I can actually learn it.
Let's hope these people speak the similar language, as close as their name is.
I've been learning. I haven't quite learned it yet, though.
Well, perhaps you can help me then as well, because
Okay.
I will be the one who has to speak it.
True.
Well, that's a project for our future. And Tim gives Orn just a horrible wink, like just a very blatant wink that Nokren can definitely see, and is very uncomfortable for everybody in the room but Tim, who doesn't realize he's done something dumb. And then he's gonna turn after that and say, "Well, let's continue."
Yep.
Orn's headache is back.
Tim's past made a horrible decision. Grabbed the wrong book from apparently my temple. Well, my religion, anyways.
We're doing this now, are we? Talking about mistakes I've made. Well.
Oh, no. I was about to talk about Nokren's past.
Oh, good.
And you signed on with a dear God knows what being.
Pretty much.
Is necromantic. And all I did was kill bandits.
I will say, as much as my uses necromancy, he did seem to push me in the direction of punishing those who have done wrong. I always seem to show up around them. I always seem to just be in the right place at the right time for those people who have done wrong and being hunted, and that was how I made money.
I want to point out, necromancy is not inherently evil. There are good uses for necromancy. Raising the dead is not even necessarily all that bad, depending on the circumstances and the culture. And more importantly than that, it is perceived very well in some cultures, much for the reason that we were just talking about speaking with the dead and giving a chance for closure to those who would otherwise have lost their loved ones without an opportunity to speak about it. I'm sorry, I'm lecturing again.
I know.
I'm lecturing again.
Here's another thing, though, Nokren. Gods can trick us, and he may just want people dead, we'll say, and he knows
that's possible.
Well, he knows you well enough to know that you're not going to kill an innocent. So he finds someone evil.
If that's the case, and he's leading me to people who deserve it, I'm okay with it.
How did you end up in the town where we were?
I was following people that were being hunted. Someone I ran into but got away. And that was where Moloch found me after I had defeated him.
Always in the right place, the right time.
That's what I was thinking.
Now,
At first, I thought it was strange that he got away from me, because they rarely do. But he did. He brought me to this town, and then Moloch found me immediately after, recruited me, and... well, you know the rest.
And I wonder what your god's direction is for you now. Why you're with us.
I think he has less reach here from the way he explained it, but
I don't think reach you here, though. He did, momentarily, but he put you with us before we were taken.
That's a good point. And
if you believe that your god did this, of course.
I mean,
he
might have known. We were the one scouting party to return intact.
Yes,
mostly
yes, we were
intact.
But I wonder why our scouting party? Why us? Why And
don't.
Tim's gonna look kind of at Orin while he's saying this.
He would say that
I haven't done anything.
I don't think Azael put me here because I don't think Azael helped us survive, and I don't think Azael put me here or with this group for any more reason than maybe it was the right place at the right time to survive. I don't think he knew what was going to happen, but he might have had an idea that something was going to happen.
You know, now that I think about it more, you're probably the only one who you would have to kill is me. Tim made a dumb mistake, I'll just say it outright.
I resent that.
You fucked up, and you know it.
I didn't say that I didn't fuck up. I said that I resent that statement. Now, for the record, it's not what I did, rather, but what I was trying to do that has me worried why your god might have placed you with us. You don't know that, do you? You don't know what I was trying to do. All you know is that I performed a ritual that made me lose my mind.
Yeah, I think that's all you said.
Well, I was trying to become a god.
Huh.
Your god probably wouldn't have liked that.
I don't know. He doesn't like... He's not a part of the Pantheon. He doesn't deal with them. He mostly stays a little separate.
Then maybe you were here because he knew that. Maybe he knows, maybe he doesn't. I don't know. I'm very curious, though.
He's not like any other god I've read about. He doesn't act too much like a god. When I first met him, he looked like another Dragonborn. I thought he was just a traveler who I happened to run across who offered to help.
Gods often appear in the form that is most familiar to those they're appearing to. But could be. Maybe he was just another traveler, but maybe he did what I was trying to do.
Maybe.
Next time you talk to him, if you do, ask him.
I will do that.
I am not trying to become a god anymore. I learned my lesson, just in case that wasn't clear. But, as you know, I am a father now, and I am trying to find better ways to be that for my daughter.
And what about Red?
Yeah, well...
Old habits die hard.
He makes a very good cup of tea. It's very difficult to turn a man down when he can make such a good cup of tea.
He has odd talents when you don't expect them.
I'll be honest, tea was the last thing I expected that man to be able to make, and he executed perfectly. Practice, I suppose.
You know, I asked him where one time, and he just shrugged and said swamp. Not even like before. I knew him before he was with you guys.
Yes. No, I know. Did he ever come by the church? Did I ever meet him before I lost my mind?
No, he's
after I lost my mind?
It was after.
Well, I wouldn't remember then anyways.
Remembering where we are for a second, Nokren will be like, we should probably have this conversation later.
Tim is like in the middle of pulling out his set of tea.
Talking about it made you kind of thirsty.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yes, of course. I'm gonna put it back in my pack.
If you guys want to settle down in the horrible ritual room and have tea.
Yeah, no, I like that we're literally just like at the door of the ritual room having this heartfelt conversation.
Well. No, you're quite right. We should continue searching. We can always have tea back at the city. We should really get back to the city at some point. Wait, what about Grits and Rufus? Where are they? Oh,
hopefully, we'll find way to get down
Right.
to them somewhere in here.
Yes.
We
that hole in the other room. That's bad. We shouldn't go down there. I don't think
it's made by the same thing.
No.
It's the reason why I was
far more cylindrical.
The reason why I was going to ask you to make some sort of illusion in the way of the grate is I get the feeling with how smooth and how perfect that hole is and how deep it goes, whatever can come out quick. So I figured it would see the opening.
It didn't have any rifling. If it came out, it came out straight. But there wasn't any debris around the hole, which makes me think that it probably... What's the best way to put this? Consumed the stone and dirt? I don't think, because it didn't have any rifling around it. It certainly wasn't moving quickly and spinning. If it came out, it came out straight up. So,
What I figure is
how wide was that?
About 3 foot.
3 feet.
Oh dear. Yes.
What I hope is that it's just stone. It can. I almost want to say dissolve.
Yeah.
If it can go through metal, then that grate will do nothing. Then that door
grate will do nothing anyways. If it can move through that much mass, the grate will just fly off when it hits it.
That's what but it would still impact it, and that's what I was hoping would happen. Is if something would see the opening, it would come at us fast enough that it would hit the grate, and we could get a chance to attack it quickly. I don't think that's a good idea now.
I believe that if it did impact the grate would be thrown into the ceiling at rapid force, and I don't believe it would hurt the creature at all. Based on the amount of mass that it had to move through, I imagine it would be a mild nuisance at best. I think you're right. I think we should leave it for now.
It would. Yeah, I was hoping it might at least phase it.
It something could be very slow moving.
It could be.
Could
with
be,
the smoothness, it would be more jagged, potentially.
Well,
it could be slow and careful, but it's more rare.
Smooth walls like that, to me, mean more meticulous than anything.
Well, it's either meticulous or incredibly
fast. It could be meticulous or quick, and I thought I was erring on the side of quick, but it could be.
Regardless, let's move on. We should keep exploring and
we need to look for the holes that might lead to the nest of the other things, which I still don't want to fight, but we have to.
Right.
Hopefully we can find it fast enough. With that, we should probably move on.
Next door.
None of the other doors in this section seem to have anything of importance. Moving to the last section of the H, though, in amongst the rooms, there is one that stands out, as it has 2 large barrels in front of the door.
Do the barrels have anything in them?
They do. Investigating them, you see the barrels are filled to the brim with stone pieces.
And are they stacked on top, side to side, preventing us from getting in?
Side to side,
as if to stop the door from opening.
You can now notice that the door itself seems damaged.
I'm guessing the lock is broken.
This one seems different damage than the other one, as it seems as though the center of the door has been bent in on it, as if something smashed into it.
Now, is it off the hinges?
No. It's still...
So it's not propped against the barrels?
No, it's not propped against the barrels. It's unlocked. The door is damaged, though, so I mean, it could very easily be opened at this point in time, should the barrels be moved.
Can we look in are the barrels in the way of the grate?
No, you could see through the small grate.
What do we see through the small grate?
You see scratches that, for a second, you're not sure what they are. But then you recognize that the walls are covered in writing. Scratched in as a claw.
Tim would still have that thing, I'm sure.
I still have comprehend languages.
They repeat 3 phrases. He is watching. He is waiting. The sacrifice shall soon be. The sacrifice shall be soon.
Okay.
So,
like that?
And the three of those are those separate statements that seem to be etched all over the place in various, like all over.
Yeah.
Repeated.
Okay. Repeated.
Yeah.
Adding that to my notes. Thank you.
Okay. Shall I knock on the door?
Not yet.
Not yet?
Well, if we just knock on the door, then we're not really going to be able to get to it to do anything. And it will know
move the barrels.
Okay. Can we try and move them quietly then? That I will need help with.
Not easily. They are very heavy. They are filled with stone.
You tip them somewhat to the side so that they're resting like
and
this.
Then you roll the edge.
Yeah.
They don't have a top though, so as soon as you would kind of...
You gotta brace it with your arm. Or your shield.
Means that... I couldn't my shield
you
over
need
the
to
top.
cover the top with your shield, so that while you lean, so that it's gonna make it difficult, and it's gonna make the stone hit against the shield.
I would say strength check with disadvantage then.
It's been so long. Can I re-roll my stealth?
Let me see. How well did you roll before?
Really poorly.
The answer would be probably no.
So I was going to say I would definitely need someone to help me, if only to sort of brace it and hold the shield and just sort of help me directionally. I would still be doing the heavy lifting, but would I be able to get help with that?
I can help you.
It can still be a disadvantage, I understand, if that's not enough to make it advantage.
I think Tim helping you is probably not enough to change that.
I don't think any of the other characters have enough strength that I would...
Grits would be...
So just a check?
Grits maybe.
Grits maybe would be the only one.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so just a check? Normal check?
Just a strength check. Still disadvantage,
Oh, fuck.
Okay. The first barrel, you can't seem to move at all. You try to lift it, and you feel like some kind of that kind of cracking in the back, god damn.
Okay, this is a lot heavier than I expected.
So
lift with your knees, Nokren, your knees.
When he goes to try to tip it again, I'm gonna go on the opposite side with the crowbar and start prying up the side to help.
Okay.
With that logic, can he roll without disadvantage?
Sure, he can attempt it.
That crowbar is getting used so often. Roll 20.
That crowbar is amazing.
Crowbars are awesome.
All right.
So, are you kidding
so
me?
good.
So good.
Can Oren, can you give me a strength check too? Because I want to see something.
I'd like to point out I rolled a 1, a 3, and a 3.
Because this will make an interesting difference.
I have a +3.
Because you're prying up. If Nokren didn't brace properly, it's going over the top.
Oh, no.
Thankfully, it's probably not moving at all.
The good news is it doesn't move at all. The two of you try as you might, and this seems very heavy and beyond your ability to move. With just the two of you.
Can I just walk over to the other one and look at it engineering-wise and see if I can formulate a better way to move it?
I'm just gonna
remove stone from it first.
Yeah. Okay.
The top.
I don't care anymore.
It's real sad that I didn't even think about that either.
I'm just gonna give you that because it's just you look at it.
No, it's common sense.
No, Tim's just
we're in a stressful situation. All right.
I considered taking some stone out of the barrel before you try lifting it.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take some time to carefully take the stone and put it to the sides, slowly enough that we don't make too much noise, and then we're gonna try again to move it stealthily.
And here's
here's
where my nat 1 comes into play. On stealth.
And can we roll stealth as well since we're doing it? And I think it's hilarious.
Sure. Tim,
God.
Some stealth.
Yeah, that's great. I think I believe I'm gonna set now that with the right armor so that I can actually roll stealth normally, but it rolls it with disadvantage automatically. I want to test that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
That
was actually not too bad. I mean, it was not good, but it wasn't horrible.
Yeah.
I like how with my nat 1 I have more stealth than Nokren.
But not more than Tim.
Okay. So it's going to take you a little bit of time, but you can definitely remove a bunch of stones from the barrels and make them lighter.
Okay, now not having to cover the top with the shield, I'm gonna put the shield back on my arm to get ready, because we're gonna carefully tip and roll the barrel out of the way.
Okay. Just a strength check for that one at that point in time, I'll say.
Okay, let's do this. Come on. Oh, that was a saving throw, but it's the same roll. Oh, yeah, that's more like it.
Okay.
There you go.
The first barrel will be moved out of the way. Just enough to... let me tell it this way, though. You're not quite as, like, quiet as you would like to be, anyway, because it's a gigantic barrel. You do manage to keep it from, like, really, like, making a lot of noise, though.
Yeah. Give it a second. Mm-hmm. Wait. Any movement? Do I hear any movement inside the cell?
No. Everything seems quiet in the cell.
Next, I'm gonna do the next one. Carefully try and move it out of the way. I did it again, but it's also the same. Yay!
Okay. Alright. I need to look up something off the top of my head.
If it's gonna focus, it's probably not.
It's not gonna focus. I can't.
It likes your fingers more than that.
It likes my fingers.
Yeah.
Anyways, it was a 13. Tim is not very strong.
Nope. Tim is not.
That's okay. He's got other talents.
Okay, so can I say what Nokren would be going to do the second he sort of moves away? You can say it's interrupted at any point, but what he's going to do is he's going to raise his shield again, rest the pike on it, move over to where the opening of the door is, because the door was just like...
Something happened as soon as you moved the other barrel out of the way.
Oh, okay, I thought so.
Yeah.
So I didn't get time to even move over.
I want to point out, Tim is standing back from the door and everything, because once he helped lift the stones out, he's just off to the side, and he's knowing that this was a guarded door.
I would also say Nokren would actually be in front of the door at this point.
Yeah.
Because of the angle of pushing stuff out of the way of the door, I would still be in front of the door.
I would be sitting behind one of the barrels.
Yeah. No, I'm saying this I know it's probably going to be worse for me because I'm in front of the door, but I would be in front of the door. The second, like the exact second that the barrel is no longer in front of the door, I would still be in front of the door.
Yeah. And I want to note, I am preparing to cast a spell if anything jumps out of the doors.
It's the reason they weren't helping me, is they were getting ready to stab or spell anything in the face.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
So, I want you... Let's see here. Orn, give me an initiative check.
Okay.
I'm getting thrown across the hallway, aren't I?
We'll find out.
I would love if I roll a natty 20 on like some sort of save and just like stop the door.
That's great.
I mean, you are, I guess, doing what you were doing best in hiding behind the door. Were you doing? I mean, like, you know,
I was behind the barrel.
Oh, you were behind the barrel.
He was,
the first one. I was sitting, like, waiting, like.
All right. So as you're waiting there, the door will kind of burst open, and this kind of figure.
What happens to Noel?
This figure that seems quite similar to the one you saw in the other room. Kind of desiccated figure with kind of clothing hanging down from it will kind of burst out and do some stuff totally towards Nokren because he's right there.
Well, what would happen with the door bursting open? Because I would be in front of it. Where would I go?
Push into you a little bit.
Is it enough to like move me, or is it just enough
I'm gonna
to
say
like...
it's not quite because you just moved the barrel out of the way.
Don't give him ideas.
No,
don't give him ideas.
Okay, I'm being honest. I was in front of a door. If it burst open with as much force as I was thinking, something would happen.
Luckily, it's just a desiccated.
So, Tim, you will hear this creature mutter something under its breath.
You still have comprehend language?
You still have comprehend language.
I do.
The sacrifice begins anew.
Oh, good. Great.
So...
And I want to point out, I was prepared to cast a spell to anything that jumped out there.
Yeah, you guys, it knew you were there all the entire time.
That doesn't change the fact that I was ready to cast a spell at it.
What spell would you be ready to cast?
I was very, very specifically ready to cast Magic Missile.
Okay.
It's not like...
Would it be an initiative check like it was before?
Roll perception then.
Oh, okay.
Sure.
You roll perception.
Sure.
Because essentially it's trying to surprise you, so it would be a case of like, you were ready, but it knew you were ready.
Yeah.
Okay, you were ready enough to get off your magic missile if you wish to.
Good.
Hey.
It's just at level 1.
Ooh.
Hey.
Okay. So 13. All right.
You fixed the first dice.
I did.
Then Tim, make me a wisdom save.
Is it for charm or sleep?
No.
It's for fear.
Yeah.
You are very wise. Okay. You are safe.
Okay. Alright, and then it's going to punch at Nokren.
It goes before me?
Well, what did you want to do because you were before it?
I would have, after the prepared spell hit, ran up there and stabbed for it.
You would have had to prepare something because you had the initiative and you didn't know it was coming.
I can't be surprised.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You could prepare an action, but if you delay...
Do you have anything that's thrown?
That's different. Because you had the initiative was the problem. So you rolled the initiative above it, and you can...
Oh, I get what you mean.
Yeah.
So yeah, you could do a action instead of a full turn because you would have been before it.
Yeah.
So
All
it
right,
didn't move.
You could have readied something.
Think of it this way: it hadn't opened the door yet when it was your turn, and then when it's its turn, it opened the door.
Yeah.
So then I knew it was coming.
I mean...
Yeah, so you can prepare like an action.
Not like literally knew it was coming, but like your alertness was be like, ha ha, something's occurring, kind of, I guess, yeah.
Alright, then I would be tossing a dagger at it.
Spider sense tingled, yeah.
Yeah.
Horn senses are tingling.
Yes.
Yeah, then I would have tossed a normal dagger at it.
Yep, go ahead.
And also, Tantus, I haven't dropped my shield yet because I haven't had to attack yet.
Okay.
And because
that's right. It has
next to it.
Advantage. Because it has the surprise on you, though, at least.
Yep, that's fair.
And because Nokren is next to it, I get sneak attack, right?
You would. Actually, wait, no.
Hey.
I think he still does. Yeah, he still does, even if it does. It just has to be next to him. It doesn't matter if he's aware.
Yeah, I have to be adjacent.
A threat to them, basically.
Yeah, if I am a threat, which I would be, even if it surprised me, I'm still a threat to it.
Okay.
Like it has to worry about me as the logic.
Yeah.
Okay. So Nokren will be hit though with the
+5, good.
With the advantage hit.
Good to know. Good to know.
Well, the 14 could have hit. You don't know for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true. But
at least
+5. Yep.
Okay. So, you will take 10 bludgeoning damage and 10 necrotic damage.
Okay. That's an owie owl.
And then you are a creature, so make a Constitution saving throw.
Ooh.
Okay.
Ooh. My rolls are garbage today.
Ugh.
I got that one natty
right,
roll on fucking wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
This is where I die immediately, isn't it?
No, fortunately not. But you feel bad. You feel as though some kind of dark energy has entered into you.
Oh, okay. Do we all roll initiative now?
Yes, the rest of you can roll initiative then.
Hey, that's more like it. I get to beat this thing back, at least.
Yep. So Orn, you are first.
Yay, more stabbing.
Mm-hmm.
This time, gonna pull out the adamantium for my first attack and run up there.
Okay.
Oh, it was
Not
so
good.
close. It was so close.
Both will miss.
Yeah, 8, 6, 4.
Oh, wait, this is something. Remember I have this. Does that apply?
Maybe.
This is something you need to know.
Yeah, this is something you need to figure out.
I will have to see for sure on this one because maybe not 5th edition.
Ooh, what's this? Wait, I have an idea.
Alright. Well, anyway, so we'll worry about that later because it doesn't come up right now. Anyway, Nokren.
Oh, it doesn't come up now. That's interesting. Okay. In that case, I am going to do the whisper sort of under my breath, and the eyes flare with radiant energy. And then I'm going to drop the shield, and I'm going to take a swing with the pike.
Okay. Will certainly hit. 11
Sweet.
damage.
With that, I'm actually going to pump a... Oh, well, my thing froze. Why have you frozen? Unfreeze, please. Oh, there we go. Okay. I'm going to pump a Divine Smite into it as well. Oh, come on.
Still not too bad. Could be
Yeah,
worse.
Still radiant damage.
Okay.
And my AC is now 18 because I've dropped the shield.
Tim, you're next.
Oh, that's surprising. Okay.
I mean, you have a 12. It has not great dexterity in comparison to enough for what I rolled for it that it would get higher than a 12.
Okay. Well, I'm going to cast Scorching Ray on it.
Okay.
So, boop. Come on now. First one is 17 with 8 fire damage. Next one is 16 with 4 fire damage. And the last one is an 8 with 6. Probably only one of those hit, maybe 2. Maybe.
Alright.
Maybe 1. Maybe
I think
0.
2 because I hit with 16, so.
Oh, yeah, so then 2 would.
Oh, okay.
I'm assuming the 8 didn't hit.
Yes.
Otherwise, my dagger would have hit, so.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, give me a second here. I need to check
No problem.
something about this thing that you're fighting because it matters. Okay. So.
Pardon me?
Did it matter?
It did.
Good.
It did. And let me check.
Good. Good.
Okay.
Fire
Either good or
usually means
very
good.
bad. Either
Yeah.
good or very bad, as in it didn't damage it. But...
Orn, make a wisdom save.
Woohoo! I'm so good at these.
I mean, you rolled exactly.
You were frightened. Good news is you did not fail by enough to get paralyzed.
Oh, that's good.
It will not hit Nokren again.
Good.
Orn,
Because it hurt when it hit.
you're up.
Let's see.
Right, you can't attack. You
On
can't
ability.
attack it.
You can attack, it's a disadvantage.
Is it?
I-
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't move closer to it. If he's close
That's
enough
what
to
it is.
attack it, he can attack with disadvantage.
Which you would.
I am close enough, so I'm going to very unhappily keep trying to attack this thing.
You saw it take a chunk of like Nokren's shoulder out with one hit, and you're like, oh fuck.
Oh god, why am I still attacking?
Okay.
14 is my best one.
Okay.
Now we find out if that hits.
All right. So as like the flames are beating it back, you kind of strike into it, pushing it back again, filled with like this overwhelming fear of it. The creature sort of staggers back as it looks as if the fire is kind of beginning to burn it away, and then he kind of like mutters something, which Tim picks up. My lord calls to me. As then the like whatever's left of him just seems to fade away.
Oh,
Good news.
ow.
Yeah, I'm gonna use the Staff of Feel Good.
Okay, I have to look up the Staff of Healing because this might.
Oh, is this going to be something to do with the Constitution thing?
Yes.
What?
That's my goal, anyways.
Wait. He has to figure out what to do about the divine health thing first, I think.
Yes.
Because I think the issue is it affects the ability to be healed. Is probably what it is.
Yeah. Let's see here.
If I felt that like taint go into me, like, well, right? Like I felt the dark try to go into me.
Like, they've intrinsically changed a little bit, but I think this is not a normal type of creature. So what I'm going to say is, you feel as though you could maybe use the staff at, in quotations, a higher level. Maybe to combine with Nokren's divine health to perhaps cure this.
Would I actually be able to use 5 points of lay on hands?
It will not
cure
heal
it?
you.
Okay, so no, it would have to be the higher level.
So specifically, what I'm referring to is the lesser restoration
That's what I
portion
mean.
of
You would have
this
to use, like,
Staff of Feel
a
Good.
lesser restoration with more charges than normal.
With more charges than normal.
Yes.
Okay.
Because this is not exactly the same as a creature that would have a curse. And you don't have a way of removing a curse with this. But your divine health would have offered a resistance on older editions, because in older editions this was both a disease and a curse, technically, at the same time.
Okay.
So, I was going to cast lesser restoration.
That's why I kind of feel like
charges.
they've simplified it and just made it a curse. But since this is not a normal version of the creature you fought, I kind of give it to you that you can do this.
Okay, cool.
Like, only on Nokren it would have worked on. The rest of you would have
good thing I got hit with.
Yeah. And only because you had the divine health. Yes. The rest of you would have been screwed.
Dang mummies.
Yeah, mummies.
Yeah, mummies, they're horrible.
Oh, can I ask what the curse would have done?
You would have slowly but surely lost maximum health until you died.
You cut out, but I'm going to assume you said till you died.
Yeah. You can't regain hit points,
Fuck.
and your maximum hit points reduces by 10 every 24 hours of time that elapse until your hit points reach 0.
4 days I could have lasted. 4 days.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to cast Lesser Restoration with 4 charges of the staff.
Yeah.
Would that do it?
The curse lasts until removed by remove curse spell or other magic, and that's why I'm going to be a little open-ended here, just because
Other magic in this case.
Because this thing isn't a normal mummy. It wasn't.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Cool. So I'm gonna do the Lesser Restoration for 4 charges, and then I'm gonna cast the Cure Wounds at level 2 as well.
And Tim, you recognize that thing did not leave any remains behind.
Oh,
yeah.
So it didn't like incinerate. It actually like evaporated.
Okay. Cure Wounds at level 2 is 2d8, right?
Yes, plus wisdom. I guess
that's
spellcasting
what.
ability.
Okay, yeah. It being a mummy, it's a
My casting ability
okay.
is intelligence, but
Well, I think
I get the idea of
wand
it.
uses
It's like,
whatever your spellcasting is, or the staff does. Your
did you
spellcasting
mean like
ability-
essentially, it got
So-
like the covering that makes up the mummy got burnt away and there was no body actually inside still?
No, like when
You
it
heal
was
for 12.
burning, it disappeared.
Oh, it didn't die. Okay.
Maybe it turned to nothingness, but it disappeared.
Yeah, whatever happened. How much?
Um,
12!
There's probably
Yeah.
some like burning pieces of cloth because it wasn't really wrapped up. It was in whatever kind of clothes it had, which were kind of tattered.
Right, I am going to chuck 5 points of my lay on hands on top of that because I lost a lot of health.
Yeah. So I've healed Nokren for 12 as well as doing the lesser restoration there. For 4 charges. And then the other thing I wanted to do is, since it didn't leave a corpse, is there any residual magics in the area that I can sense? I know it's not. Like,
roll me Arcana. Roll me Arcana. Yeah. Let's see what you roll.
She wanted to ask Nokren to, while he's resting a bit, to... Okay.
There's nothing as far as you know.
And I can't tell at all that I didn't, like, that it... So I think there's nothing, basically.
Yeah. You're pretty sure it died.
I will say...
Sure whoever created it, maybe it just made it that it wouldn't leave a corpse.
Knowing that thing, like, hit me as hard as it did, I'm gonna sit down for a bit, and then I'm gonna do... Oh god, why is... Roll20's gone. Like,
Roll20 is...
I have a blank sheet right now.
Yeah, just keep running your mouse over things.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, there we go. Yeah, it's back. We're there. Nah. Do this, and then take a look into the room once it's done.
Alright. So, you with your detect magic...
Because I do want to know what happened to that thing. It did so much damage to me, I want it gone.
Arcana with that. Just give me an Arcana.
Oh, okay.
You roll
it. Game. It's letting me athletics and animal handling. There we go. It was like athletics, animal handling. Athletics, animal handling. Oh, you kidding me?
Okay.
Holy shit, we're bad at Arcana today.
We're not allowed to know what happened to this thing. We are just not allowed to know.
No.
I mean, like there doesn't seem to be any residual magic when you kind of detect into it. You spread over it. Whatever magic might have been there, if there was a magic, gone now.
Fuck it, I'll try.
If you rolled a 20, I would have flipped out.
There probably was some kind of magic involved in its death, but you're not sure if it was the magic of its own creation or something else.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay. The room. What does it look like from out here?
It looks like a lovely home to stay in.
Yeah, it looks like it's a lovely room to stay in. It looks as if this creature had been, like, in here for however long and just etching on the walls in its, like, clawed hands.
Okay.
Okay.
Give me an intelligence check. This is an interesting one that you might actually, because you were studying things, might be able to realize. Alright, yes. You're not 100% sure, because it is in a language you're using comprehend language to understand, but when you investigate the writing, it looks very similar to the way the writing is put in the other room.
Okay. So, like, in terms of, like, the structure of the writing, or in terms of being in blood? How do you mean?
This isn't in blood. I mean, the structure, the way it's written sounds very similar, and the handwriting itself looks very similar. You know, like, you can tell...
Written by the same person,
it looks
basically.
Either someone that writes very similar, or the same person.
Is there another body in this cell?
No.
I'm thinking maybe it came out of this cell, went into that one, and they trapped it in there.
I mean, it does look like someone trapped this in here.
Yeah.
At the very least, it's looking like it came out of that other cell.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. We're going on break. Tim was throwing it out there, but I was waiting for you to end the room.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fair.
Yes. I already was planning on the break, too. So thank you, though.
Just making sure.
Yeah. I already noticed after the battle we went a little...
Combat happened.
So we're going to go on a small break. Bathroom, snacks, drinks, anything you need. We'll be back. We'll be continuing here where they're going to try to finish up exploring the dungeon and head on. Now that defeated the strange ritual mummy, as we can call it. So see you in a couple minutes, folks.